This is probably one of the most interesting coffee shops you'll ever see.
Coming up on today's vlog.
There's motion in the ocean there.
Oh, they keep breaking.
Almost.
How do you do it all in one?
And don't forget to pull out at the end.
Hey guys, come with me to my favourite coffee shop, Snakebite Coffee. Hello!
Hello!
Action. Right, so you're going to do some roasting.
We're going to do some roasting. We're going to roast some coffee. We're going to turn it from green to brown.
Is that what happens?
That's what happens.
Oh,
Have you ever seen green coffee?
No.
Do you want to see green coffee?
I do.
Come here. This is how coffee starts its life. Well, actually, it starts life as a cherry. But this is green coffee. So, that is how it starts out looking. And it smells different totally as well.
Oh my god, it smells earthy.
Yeah, it smells like grass-ish. And it starts its life as a fruit on a plant. And they take the plant and they grow the cherries. And there's a few different processes where they get the seed out of it. And once they've got the seed out, they dry it out or wash it. And then I get it in these big bags. And then I roast it here and turn it into a drink that you know and a bean that you know. So even though we call it a bean, it's a seed. There you go. But they all smell different as well.
If you plant it, can you grow it?
Technically, you should be able to, in theory.
Oh.
But this one's got a bit of a weird smell, this one. You said that one smells like grass, but if you smell this one. Just stick your head in.
That one smells more...
funky.
Brazilian.
What's a Brazilian smell like?
I don't know. That coffee we just had was Brazilian and it smelled like the taste of that kind of.
That's from Uganda. Yeah. But they smell different due to like the processes. You can get in there. Grab it. Feel it.
I want to feel it.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
Because it's not, you can't break it.
It's like stone.
Yeah. You can't actually break it apart like it's solid.
It smells a bit like, I don't know, like chocolate if you really smell it hard.
Yeah.
Smell it hard. It's kind of, I'm snorting. This is my drug. Caffeine is my drug. Like, I don't do anything else, guys, apart from hard caffeine. Okay, how do we roast it then? Let's go.
We'll show you. So, we weigh out a certain amount of it. This is a decaf. We're not going to do decaf. We're going to do that because when you roast that one, you can smell strawberries. So we're going to smell some strawberries with coffee, and it sounds weird, but trust me. And it doesn't take as long as that.
Decaf's boring as well.
And decaf is boring. We don't want any we need caffeine in our lives. So we'll go back to this one, chuck some in here. So the whole point of roasting coffee is kind of to dehydrate it, but over a certain period of time with certain temperatures and certain airflow. Oh, satisfying. So it goes on top here. And then you get a recipe up that you've done before. It's a bit like Blue Peter. Let's find it. There. And if you want to do the honours, I'll let you do that.
What do you do?
Right?
Can I do it wrong?
No,
Okay.
It'd be very difficult to do wrong. Your beans start in here.
Yeah.
As we've seen, smelt, hard, solid things. They go into this chamber here, which is hot. Like, I'd advise not touching it too long because it is hot. Because in here is a drum that spins round and round and round. So what you do is you are going to pull that lever.
Okay.
All right. and it's going to shoot all those beans into this drum, all right? And they're going to spin around really fast and heat up. I'll control the heat and I'll control everything else. But all you've got to do at this moment is lever that and then close it again, right?
Okay.
That's it. So when you're ready,
So I do that for how long?
until they're done.
Okay, and
Until
then just close it again.
you'll hear it.
Okay.
You'll
go on.
hear it.
I'm
So just
nervous.
pull the lever. Pull the lever, crank. That's it, and close it again. That's it.
Yay!
So all that's called is a charge.
I
So
charged
we've
it.
charged the beans,
And now look.
and now they're spinning in here. It takes like 7 minutes to do a full roast.
Like a washing machine?
Yeah, it kind of is like a washing machine. Yeah, you're just watching the wash of the beans. Yeah, but you will see them change colour through that.
Stand there for 7 minutes, Alex. 7 minutes later.
7 minutes later, 3 hours later.
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
What we're doing now is called a soak. We're letting all the beans like take the heat in, and then after that we start like actually putting heat into the beans and air into the beans, and that's how you create the flavour. We're whacking up the temperature.
So like, you can, that same bean can be light,
Medium, dark, whatever I want it to be, over a certain span of time as well. So if I make it really long, it could taste really bland, but if I make it really short, it could be really acidic. So there's trying to find a certain balance in getting the right taste over a certain amount of time, and how light or dark I want it to be in that space of time as well. So it's an interesting like science behind it. And in the middle of it all, you've got something called a Maillard reaction, which is when you ever browned onions, like caramelized onions
Yeah,
properly. Same thing. So you're turning them brown, you caramelize, and you're letting all the sugars sort of develop in the bean, because there are natural sugars in there, and they make that sweet taste. So that's how we kind of create a sweeter coffee, as it were. You just drag out that Maillard reaction phase.
So if you bought them beans, yeah, how they were,
Yeah.
and someone else bought the exact same ones,
You can get two
and you
separate
can get
results.
Two totally different
Totally
tastes.
different results, yeah.
That's interesting.
Which makes it quite interesting. And then I've basically got to follow these graphs as well. So the graphs tell me what temperature things are going at, and how quickly, and at what speed, and how many airflow is going along. It's got a predictive curve to it as well. So it's all good fun. Like, it's just science, physics. Do you remember how the beans looked at the start?
Yeah.
They were green and
Green,
grassy,
yeah.
and now
Oh, they look yellow.
they're yellow. So this is what we call like the drying phase. So that's the drying phase, is where you kind of get rid of all that grassiness out of it, and you call the dry end almost. So now we're starting to develop those sugars in it. And now we're going to get like the Maillard reactions taking place in this phase. And then they're going to start popping like popcorn. So it's going to go look like in about a couple of minutes. Yeah.
Where does this pipe go?
The pipe goes to the outside world.
Oh, to the outside.
It's a
world.
flue. A flue pipe, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So all the excess heat, all the fumes that come out of this smell like toast. It's really weird. It doesn't smell anything like coffee doing this.
So if I went outside and
So if you went outside, it'd smell like toast. It makes me really hungry. It's like, you think you get buzzed off loads of caffeine drinking loads of coffee and stuff, but no, I just get really hungry because it smells like burnt toast
Oh,
and butter.
going browner.
So any second now, you'll start hearing some pops. Like if you listen really carefully. Not yet. In about 1 degree more.
At least got like a steampunky sort of vibe to it.
Yeah,
It does,
looks
doesn't it?
very steampunky, doesn't it?
I always think it's got a bit of a weird face as well. Like if it's a weird smile
It's
with
watching
two
me.
eyes. Yeah,
It looks like a
exactly.
train.
Like a train. Here we go.
I like trains.
It does look like a train.
It does look like a train, guys, and I like trains. And Alex likes trains too now because...
Do you hear that?
Yeah, I did actually. Listen, guys, it's popping.
So it should start popping any second now. That's what's called first crack.
First crack.
First crack.
My first bit of crack of the day.
It's a bit like crack, isn't it? It's addictive.
Like, coffee's my addiction. I wake up in the morning. First thing I do is put my coffee machine
Same.
on.
I like the process. Like it's having 10 minutes of me time in the morning and just making a nice cup of coffee, brewing it, and you're going, all right, this is me now, 10 minutes, just having a bit of wake up time. And then you get to drink it and enjoy it at the end of it as well. And it tastes good.
And then you have your crack after.
And then I have my crack after. There you go, it's starting to pop and crack.
So is that the beans expanding?
That's the beans expanding. Nailed it. So all the gases are starting to escape from it now.
Science. Science.
Pop, pop.
Pop, 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 pop.
The coffee ASMR now.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
ASMR coffee. Oh, it's starting to pop more.
Starting to pop more. Then,
Can't believe the
oh
colour.
yeah, the colour difference. Yeah. Right, it should smell really sweet now. So give that a sniff. You get a little bit of sugar
Yeah.
to it.
I sniffed too hard and my nose started to sting then.
Right,
Ooh!
turn the handle.
Which handle?
Come around here.
Ah!
Turn that wheel
Come round as well.
Which way?
to your left.
To my left, like this?
Yeah, and keep it open.
Ah! Look, guys! Bean me up, Chloe.
And that's it.
I just roasted my first ever batch of coffee.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Feel great.
They're super hot.
Feel awesome.
And that's it. That's a roasted batch of coffee.
Oh.
So that's a nice little kilo of coffee that you can see you've roasted now.
This makes me so happy.
Turn the gas off now.
Behind the scenes.
You know when you boil eggs? And if you
Yeah.
don't chuck them in ice, they carry on cooking.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. So we're trying to like cool it down as fast as possible really. So under there is like a big old fan and it just cools down a little bit. I say a little bit, a lot. So it's cooling down as fast as possible. So it doesn't carry on roasting.
Well. Yeah, I think sometimes when you take like popcorn out of the microwave, it's still popping.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. Hence why you got to put a fan under it and cool it down as fast as possible. But it's still really hot. That's your first roast. Makes me hungry. But it's a bit like steak as
Warm
well.
coffee beans.
You can't drink it straight away. You got to let it chill and degas for about a week.
Oh, you actually?
Yeah, it's like a steak. And it just chills in there. And that is my day job. That That is what I do.
That's such a satisfying turn-off sound as well.
It is, isn't it?
Absolutely amazing.
And that is how they make coffee.
Every little bean. Oh, there's one
Every
more, one
little
left.
lonely bean.
Oh,
There's always one.
Right.
there we go.
Roasted your first batch. There you go. That's your first batch of coffee.
ASMR.
It's a real one.
Like a real.
It's a real head from a viper.
Ooh.
It's a lot smaller than what I thought, though.
Yeah. Are those its fangs?
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't know how the poisons kill like 1,000 men or something.
Yeah.
It's that small.
In it. That's wild. Like that little thing will kill you. It's already dead, though. It won't kill you now.
Get it away from me. Like, how many coffees do you drink a day?
Actually, I only have 3 a day.
3 a day.
Yeah. I have one in the morning routinely, which is like my me time. My 10-minute me time. I have one for lunch, because that's my lunch. And then I might have one around now if I need to do some more stuff. So 3 a day at most. Yeah. But then also, if I do plan pulling like an all-nighter gaming or something, I will drink some more coffee. Yeah.
Wow, yeah. It's good coffee. I couldn't work here.
You'd be buzzed all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try not to be, just because it does end up being like, I do get the jitters. And I'm over that 30 threshold now, so I feel it more, like the caffeine hits you. Especially when you're drinking actually like good stuff. It does hit you.
I feel it like, so I'll have like my morning coffee and then in like the middle of the morning, I'll just feel suddenly just drained.
Yeah. You feel the crash and you feel the buzz and then you feel the crash again and you're like, I need another buzz.
Feel it hard.
Yeah, you feel it. But I tend to have like a milky one during the middle of the day just for like, that's my lunch.
Yeah.
But you can't rely on caffeine for your diet. You could.
You could.
You could. And I do, but I'm not endorsing it.
Don't do it, guys.
Don't do it.
But if you want to be, slim like us.
Speak for yourself.
Right, anyway, right. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh yeah, hi.
Yourself?
I'm Osama. I run Snakebite Coffee Co. in Beverley.
Right.
That's me.
That's you.
That's me.
How long have you run Snakebite Coffee?
Snakebite started in lockdown. Long story short, I was basically moving abroad. I got ready, I sold my house, I sold my car, got ready to go. But then that was in March 2020. So I was like, right, I'm not moving abroad. I've got some money. And rather than sitting on my ass playing Call of Duty for all of lockdown, I decided to learn a new skill, which was how to roast coffee. I did play a lot of Call of Duty, but I did also start the business during that time too.
That's so cool.
So I put that money towards this.
That's good. I feel like everything happens for a reason.
It does, exactly. Lockdown was actually really good for me in that sense. Yeah. I started this, met my wife, and got married. I was like, right, this is a good thing. Right. So lockdown turned out to be a great thing for me. Yeah.
How did you come up with the name Snakebite Coffee?
I was staring at my wall, and there was that photo on my wall over there.
Oh.
And I thought, it looks cool. It stands out a bit. And I wanted something different that people are gonna stick in their head a bit, rather than just calling it, I don't know, I don't want to name any names because there might be something called coffee culture out there or something. And it doesn't stick as much in your mind. If you say something like Snakebite, you remember it.
Yeah.
And if you see a bag of it somewhere, you'll remember it because it doesn't get lost in translation on the shelf.
I was drawn to Snakebite Coffee because obviously I started off as just a customer. Like,
you did?
I literally was just walking through Princess Quay and you was on the bottom floor of Princess Quay.
I was, it was Christmas.
Market, yeah. Like
yeah, Christmas market.
And I was like, oh, Snakebite Coffee, that sounds so cool. Like, and now coming and seeing your shop, I can see you're quite alternative.
And now you've roasted your first batch as well.
I have roasted my first batch. But like, I've had a little bit of sense of what you're like for your brand name.
Yeah. It gives it a little slice of me in here.
A little bit
That's
of
it.
Like a non-emo niche. Just an alternative.
Just an alternative.
Like
That's it. It's a little bit alternative, but not being so far alternative that when you came in, the two elderly ladies who were 70-year-old still love being in here.
I know,
and
it's great.
they're not afraid of going and stepping in here going, oh, there's some loud music going on, I don't know about that.
some
They'll come and chill here.
Metallica.
Yeah, literally, they quite enjoy it for some, I don't know,
Makes them
but they
feel
enjoy
young.
it. Yeah, they feel young. But it doesn't put them off. So the branding isn't so far alternative where you go in, don't know about that, mate. Bit too far.
Yeah, I like it.
Like,
I like it.
there's one, I don't know, like skull fuck coffee. Like, it's not gonna work. You see that and you might go, don't know, mate. I don't know if I want my skull fucking from your caffeine. But you might be all right with a little...
That was my name I was going to use for my coffee brand. Thanks.
Sorry, I've ruined it. I'm sorry I've ruined it. Skullfoot
Castrol
coffee coming soon.
It does.
Instead, you have a little nibble from a little snake.
Oh,
And snakes
yeah,
can be cute.
They've got venom though.
Not all
They
of
give you
them.
that hit
They do give you a little hit.
of venom
Yeah.
that you need for the day.
So that's why the branding is the way it is.
Right, I get it. So, did you learn how to roast coffee from like YouTube?
Literally YouTube and books and a lot of... I did go on a course, but that was after I'd already known how to roast coffee. I kind of wanted to back myself a little bit and know I do know what I'm talking about. So I went and did a course down in London and got a qualification for it. So I was like, oh yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I did know. I wasn't just making it up in my mind. But mostly YouTube and books
Like,
and trial and error.
I feel like a lot of skills can just be learned from
Transferable skills. Yeah, you can. We're doing up a whole house just learning it off YouTube. You just figure it out as you go along. And if you go wrong, you know why at least. And then you can go back, change something and make it better.
So, do you know when you decided I'm going to do something with my life over COVID, was there anything else in your list of choices? Like, could you be a different business today?
Do you know what? I did want to open up a 0% brewery as well. That went through my head.
And what's a 0% brewery?
Like a 0% alcohol brewery. Like
So, like non-alcoholic
solely
alcohol.
non-alcoholic alcohol. But I was like, it's an emerging market. And then loads of them came out. No, loads didn't come out. All the big brands started doing 0%.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, didn't miss the train as much, but you can't compete with the big brands once they
Yeah.
kind of cottoned onto it. I was like, can't really go about that way. So I decided to go with this instead, because at least this way, I'm just competing with some other local indies as well who do it.
Yeah, and the coffee shop as well. Like people
Exactly.
can come here throughout the
People
day.
drink coffee no matter what.
Yeah.
Whereas if you start a 0% brewery, you're kind of narrowing it down to the people that are just giving up booze or the people that want to be socially acceptable or pregnant ladies.
Yeah.
That's literally
much.
it. Your market's a bit smaller, and I thought, I'm going to do coffee because I like coffee as well. I like two things in my life. It was coffee and beer. But I gave up drinking, but I still enjoyed beer, if that made sense. So I was drinking 0% beers and thinking, there must be a better one than blue.
Yeah.
That's it. So I was like, oh, maybe I should start my own. And I think that's how a lot of businesses start, when you think, I think I can do this better.
Yeah.
And that's why I did it. Because I'd be drinking coffee and I'd be thinking, I think I can make a better one. And I tried and it worked out.
That's good though, it's good. Like, you started off in your house, didn't you?
I started in my shed, in my garage, and had a really small machine and bought really small batches of coffee and did a lot of trial and error, and I drank a lot more than 3 cups a day then. It was a lot of drinking coffee back
Just
then.
come out your shed like.
Lockdown hours, not sleeping. If I was playing Call of Duty, it'd be an all-nighter, and I'd be drinking the coffee that I roasted last week and going through kilos at a time going, this doesn't taste good, how can I change it? But that's part of it, which is when we do the cupping, you'll see, you taste it and you go, oh, so my roast that I've roasted, if I want to make it taste a bit different, how can I do that? Because you've got to taste what you make, right?
Yeah.
So when you do your cupping, you'll be like, oh, right, it's not sweet enough, so how can I do that in the roast? So you've got to taste it all.
Oh, yeah. You gotta taste it, you can't not.
No, you can't. And that's what we're going to do later. We're going to do some real tasting.
So what's the first flavour you did?
The first roast and flavour that I did was the Brazilian Anaconda. It's probably the most accessible, and it's the favourite because it's an everyday coffee. Like, everyone can drink it. It's the most coffee tasting coffee. And then after that, I started experimenting with some different coffees from all over the place. It's the easiest one to roast and the easiest one to learn on. So I was like, right, what can I do that everyone's going to buy anyway? So let's get that, get it right, and it went well. But then after that, I tried getting some more funky ones. They didn't go down too well. No, they tasted like grass and ass. They weren't the best, I'll be honest. They weren't good tasting coffees. They were never for sale. But I've tasted some pretty horrific ones that I've done in my life.
Oh, have you ever tried that coffee that's been through a cat?
Yeah, civet.
Isn't that like the most expensive coffee you can get?
Technically, commercially, yeah. I did try some in Bali, but I was really put off by it because I saw them and they were like force feeding them.
Oh, yeah.
And it was really sad, and they were in cages, and I was like, I don't endorse it.
I do not condone that.
No. Do not endorse that coffee. Kopi Luwak coffee is not to be endorsed.
Because I've only ever like heard about that.
Yeah, I tasted it. I wasn't a fan. It doesn't taste any different than a good cup of coffee, if you know what I mean.
So there's no need to put them poor.
There's no need to put them poor little civet cats through all that shit, quite literally. So don't do it.
Don't do it, guys. Just get the snake coffee.
Just get that one.
The one that's been through the snake.
Exactly.
It hasn't really been through a snake, guys. Right. So I wanted to find out about your first ever roasting experience. Like, so you was like, oh, I have to do this, but then you'd have to buy the roasting machine.
Do you know what? My first roasting experience actually came from my mother-in-law.
Really?
And I didn't know this at the time, but she roasts her own coffee too. But on a really, really small scale. Like, she does it in a pan. So she gets like a pan that you can control the temperature on. It's a bit like a slow cooker, but a pan.
Right.
And she just stirs the coffee continuously and makes her own coffee at home. I was like, that's really cool. Let me have a crack. So I started doing it. You can buy pans like that, and you can buy popcorn makers to do it at home. And then you can buy the big industrial machines after you kind of get an idea of how things work.
Yeah.
But that was my first introduction to roasting coffee.
Oh.
So I was like, my mother-in-law does this, how interesting.
If she can do it, I can do it.
Absolutely.
And when did you buy your first piece of machinery?
I bought that in lockdown again, just at the end of lockdown actually. And it came from another coffee roastery called Carrington's. And they're across the other side of the country in Lancashire. But they're another couple who have been roasting for a little while, and they bought that off another company called Volcano Works. So I was like, it's been in good hands. I know where it's from. Oh. It's called Joy.
Oh,
it's a little roaster called Joy. It's got a name. They named it, and I was like, I'm going to keep the name. I like it. It's cute.
Better than sadness.
Yeah.
So if someone wanted to buy your coffee, so someone's watching this right now and they're like, I want to try Snakebite coffee, where can they go to buy it?
They can come here in Beverley to buy it at the roastery. So we sell it in bags here as either as whole bean or as ground coffee, and you can take it away to home. Or if you want to go in certain shops in Beverley, supply it, Garnish. But if you're into bouldering and climbing, Mad Volume in Hull sell it as well on a retail side of things too. So if you're in Hull, you can go to Mad Volume, go for a climb, and buy some coffee from there as well.
What about online?
Oh, you can go online as well. Yeah.
Online
Oh, yeah.
easiest.
I've got a website. I've got a website. It's www.snakebitecoffee.co. That's it. So online. Yeah. Online or here.
Online.
Yeah.
There will be a link in the description.
Yes.
So you sell coffee beans, ground coffee?
Ground coffee, yeah. But you grind it up to how you make it at home. So depending on what tools you have available to yourself at home, your grind size makes a difference. So if you go into a supermarket and buy a generic bag of ground coffee, it's all ground to one size, which might not work if you've got a little mocha pot or a little stovetop thing to make your coffee because it's not fine enough.
So
but
when
if you go online,
buys your coffee online, they can select what type of coffee, because you'll make it that way for them.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So if they need it super fine for a mocha pot, you'll get that. But if you have a cafetiere at home, which a lot of people do in the cupboards, you grind it really coarse and you'll get that instead.
Have you ever had, do you know, like tea bags? Like coffee bags?
Yeah. I had them at my parents' house. It was an experience.
It's weird, isn't it?
It was weird. I didn't know how to feel about it.
Like, I didn't know how to feel about it. I just the whole thing felt weird to me.
It felt alien. I was like, I don't know if I like this. This isn't how you brew a brew.
I think they came out, and then I think people have tried them, and they haven't done so well.
No,
they've
not done so
anywhere.
well. No,
Like,
I think they're like more commercial, like hotel.
That's where I tried it, in a hotel.
There you go.
Like, I was
Hotels.
in London, and I was like, what is this?
Yes, hotels I think do them still, and convenience factor I think they play rather than actually good coffee.
Yeah. So tell me, what does the future hold for Snakebite? Like, from now, what are your dreams, your ambitions, your ideas?
Trying to take over the world.
Take over the world, one coffee cup at a time.
One coffee cup at a time. No, honestly though, a big part of the business is charity for me. I donate to meaningful charities every month, different causes. So next month, for example, is UK Coffee Week. And part of that, the funds are all going to a thing called Project Waterfall, where they bring water to coffee growing communities, such as in Uganda. And it's great to be a part of that. And the future for me is I really want to focus on the giving side and give back to the communities that grow the coffee, whether that means going out to site and physically putting water wells or something in. I don't just want to be a coffee supplier. I want to try and leave a mark behind that says, right, your business helped create a sustainable future and give back to a community somewhere. So the future for me is more about giving. Giving and growing.
And growing. But so you need to grow in order to give more.
Exactly.
So how do you plan on growing more?
So I want to put an upstairs here. I wouldn't mind taking somebody on board here to help me out. There's a job opening eventually in the near future. So that for me is a thing. I wouldn't mind another unit, maybe specifically to serve coffees in the area. That'd be quite nice to do as well. But as a roastery, I like being in East Yorkshire and part of the local community. So I don't plan on leaving the area. I want to stay around here and grow here and just build a sense of community here.
And just like have your own little coffee shops maybe?
Have a little own coffee shops, create like little event spaces for people as well, that they can come and they can share the space, be it art or music or just through, other events that they want to hold. Just a nice space where people can come and talk. And that was one thing I wanted here specifically because it's small and the seats are quite close together. But that means someone comes past and goes, oh, excuse me. But then that forces them to talk to one another. There might be a dog sat across the way and you kind of want to say hello and you just want to talk. And that for me is part of the coffee culture. And that's something that I'm trying to install back in it. Rather than just going for a quick coffee somewhere, in and out with a takeout cup, come, have a natter to a complete stranger, build a community around the place. So that's what I'd like to grow the spaces into.
Did you ever watch Friends?
Yes, I watch Friends. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's a community. It's people to chat.
Central Perk with Phoebe Buffay playing a guitar.
But in East Yorkshire and Beverley.
You should do it. I'm excited. I want you to do it.
Thanks.
You will do it.
I will do it, exactly.
Do it.
It's going to take a couple of years, I think, but you just got to show up, haven't you?
So you said you're in like a couple of local businesses, like the one in Hull, the one in Beverley. Do you plan on expanding and being in any more?
Yeah, I think that'd be nice. What I do is I have like cupping events here, which is what we're going to do. We're going to taste some coffee. So I get some like local businesses to come in, do some cupping, taste them and go, actually, that's really nice. I'd like that in my shop. And then they can take it away in buckets. I like to use buckets because it's reusable. And you're trying to reduce waste, obviously, in everything that we do. So I like to like swap out buckets and go, right, that's 5 kilos for you, 5 kilos for you. Give me an empty bucket back, we'll refill it.
Have you been to that shop in Beverley? What was it called?
The reuse one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should really supply to them.
I think they've got someone in, but I'm going to sneak in. I'm going to slither.
Yeah, slither
in like a little snake and get in there.
I think the refillable shops are really good.
I think they're cool, but especially for coffee beans, you can just fill up as much as you need or as little as you need. But it's real tempted to just get all of it and just take it.
If I came here with jars, could I do it?
You could do it, yeah.
Would you do that?
I'd get people coming in with their own bags.
Yeah.
Like, or they'll take a kilo bag, for example, and they'll come in and refill the same kilo bag. And it just makes life really easy for everyone that way. Because I save money on the bags, on the retail side of things. And they save money because I don't charge them as much. Because I don't have to pay for a label again, I don't have to pay for a bag again. And on the business side of things, they don't have to waste 5 bags of kilos, and it's saving me a bunch of money too. So reuse, recycle, save some money.
Yeah. I noticed outside you've got a little coffee grounds.
I do. I give away my coffee grounds as well, and my chaff.
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 What's a chaff?
A chaff. A chaff. I don't know what a chaff is. Chaff as a whole is the byproduct of roasting, and it comes off like the husk is called chaff. And what I do is there's a bit of like the circle of life in this aspect. So the Brazilian coffee you're drinking today comes from a farm that has a beehive on it.
Okay.
Those bees pollinate the plant to make the coffee, right?
Yeah.
Great. There's a school on there, the kids are taught agriculture, beehive keeping, all stuff. So the bees play a big role. There's a big bee on that coffee bag over there that you'll probably see.
Yeah.
And what happens is, those bees help make the coffee here. Now what I do with the chaff is I take the chaff and give it away to local beehive keepers here, and they use it to smoke the bees. So it's got a really good smoking point for local beekeepers, and they take it and they produce honey here using the chaff to sleep the bees. So it's a nice little circle of life.
Yeah.
So it all gets used and it all gets given away. Some people use it as compost. The coffee grounds get composted as well. They make great blueberries. Any plants that like acidic stuff, great. So I like giving back to the local community as well.
At home, my coffee grounds go in the garden.
Exactly, they're great for the garden.
Because I grow stuff.
I like growing stuff too. If you ever grow blueberries and raspberries, coffee grounds, great for them. They love it.
Some cuffing and shaffing.
Shaffing and cupping. It's all very like innuendo, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of innuendo in coffee. Like, when I have to describe steaming the milk for people, you ever steamed milk before?
There's a lot of...
You got to wipe your wand.
Yeah.
You got to put just the tip in. And don't forget to pull out at the end.
Oh, well, thank you very much for your time today.
Ah, you're welcome.
Thank you for letting me roast my first ever batch of coffee.
We'll see you again here soon, hopefully.
Oh, I'll be coming in for that job that you advertised.
Oh, yeah.
As long as I can drink my weight in coffee.
The pay is in coffee, I forgot to mention.
That's fine by
That's
me.
it.
That's fine by me, yeah.
So, this is the most scientific way of tasting coffee. So what we do is we measure out, so these are 2 different beans.
Right.
One of them is your roast.
Ew.
And you measure out 12 grams and you put 200 grams of water. So the only thing that's different is the bean.
Right.
So when you taste it, the only variable is the coffee. There's nothing else that impacts it.
Okay.
And we're going to do some slurping.
Slurping.
That's you've got to make the sound effect, otherwise it doesn't count.
Okay.
So you've got to go.
So it's like when you wine tasting.
Literally the same thing. That's what we're doing. We're wine tasting, but with coffee.
Coffee tasting.
We're coffee tasting, but with wine. Smell.
Smell.
Smell. They're 2 different coffees.
Yeah. I'm trying to realise the difference. This one just smells more. I don't know. That smells way more like strawberry, if that makes sense.
It does.
Right.
That's because it is on the bag, strawberries. You're in.
Aye, because
You're
I'm like a little sniffer dog.
Smell again.
And this is just that but
This
brown.
is just that but ground, but it changes smell at every stage.
That smells a bit more like creamier.
Yeah.
I don't know like how to explain.
You're saying all the buzzwords without even knowing it. Strawberry ice cream on the bag.
Oh my god! So it turns out I'm a coffee expert.
Turns out you are a coffee expert. That just smells like coffee.
I was going to say this just smells like actual just coffee.
Exactly. That's it. It just smells like coffee. Like chocolatey coffee.
Yeah, I was going to say like a dark chocolate
Might do it.
type of thing. You need to weigh it.
Got to weigh it. And then you got to bang in the same amount of water in. Do you reckon you can stop on 200 on the dot? Oh.
I could.
Go on then. You've spoken, now you shall do.
Right, so that says -7, yeah?
Yeah, let's press the button. There you go. You got to pour, but stop on 200 on the dot. It's like filling your petrol pump, isn't it? And make sure you cover all the ground coffee. There you go. Give it a little stir in there.
I think I've run out of water.
Shit. There you go.
It was sabotaged.
And then you got to wait 4 minutes. But smell them again. So this is part of the process.
I want to smell that
Come
one.
smell this one. We'll go around.
That does smell like the strawberry cream.
I told you. It's like strawberries and cream.
Strawberries.
And then when 4 minutes are up, you smell them again, but we do something called breaking the crust.
Breaking the crust. That sounds
I told you, everything just sounds disturbing in coffee. So you take your spoon and you push the grounds away. So I'll do it on one and you can do it on the other.
Okay.
You can do you want the strawberries or do you want the other one? You can have the strawberries.
I love the strawberries.
It's like, no, it actually smells like strawberries. Like a coffee that smells like strawberries. People are like, what? No, come and smell it.
Yeah, like genuinely.
It smells like strawberries. This is not scripted. You genuinely said the word strawberries without knowing it.
And cream.
And cream. And on the bag, the tasting notes are strawberry ice cream and caramel. So that just shows, A, you know your shit.
I do know my shit.
And B, that's what the coffee actually tastes and smells like. So you got to wait another minute. This one that smells like strawberries is called Black Mamba.
Black Mamba.
From Uganda.
From Uganda.
The Black Mamba from Uganda.
Okay.
Really easy to remember. And that one is the Anaconda from Brazil.
And that's your most popular.
And that's the most popular one because it's for
just
people
coffee.
stepping into the coffee game that don't want a coffee that tastes like strawberries or something else that we've got like the Python from Kenya that tastes a bit more like blackberry and peachy. That's the most accessible coffee because it tastes the most like coffee.
And you can just add syrups and.
And you can add syrups and make it taste like whatever you want.
Yeah.
So it's a very user-friendly coffee from Brazil. Right, we'll swap places.
Right, let's break the crust.
We're going to break the crust. Choose your weapon.
Sabotaged me.
Right. There is no sabotage here. Right. Do you want to watch me?
Yeah, I'm going to watch
Right.
first.
Spoon. Sniff. Push it away from you.
Spoon. Sniff.
Strawberries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does yours smell like?
Chocolates and nuts. But if you give it a little rinse, you can do a couple on this one as well. Then come round here and do it on that one.
Yeah, that just smells like
Coffee.
just coffee.
Exactly.
Like breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice little breakfast coffee.
Yeah.
Right. Everyday easy drinker. It's a nice coffee. But good. Now this is my favourite part. You might want to come close for this. It's real satisfying. For those satisfying folk that like to see things that are done just nice.
Oh. Oh my.
It's just satisfying. I've left a blob, but it's satisfying. The reason we get rid of that top bit is because that actually tastes bitter. And we don't want that. And then we'll do it on that one.
I would have tempted.
Do you want to go? You sure?
Right.
Right. How can I describe this? Go T-Rex arms with the spoons.
T-Rex.
And then go around. And then under.
Okay.
Give it a go. T-Rex arms. Hold them
that.
together.
Right.
Yeah.
In there like that.
In there like that.
And then.
And then around the cup. Yeah. Oh!
I'll try that again.
Try again.
Because
Doing so well.
it's the pressure, guys. It's the pressure. I just don't think I've quite got the motion.
No, there's motion in the ocean there.
Oh, they keep
almost.
breaking.
Almost.
I don't even know what I've
Yeah.
done
Scoop
now.
it up. Do you know what? That's good for your first attempt. That's good.
How did you learn to do that? Did you watch a YouTube video?
Yeah. Practice.
Yeah.
And then just skim off some of that stuff there. Yes.
What is wrong with my hands?
Told you, it's T-Rex arms.
I think because I was a little bit cold, so my hands just stopped working apparently.
And maybe you got some coffee jitters in there.
Probably.
So, once they've cooled down in a little bit, you take a bit on your spoon, like that. It might be a bit hot right now. I'll do the first one and I'll let you know. And you slurp. It's alright actually.
Let the green burns.
It's okay. That's okay, it's not hot. Go ahead. Slurp. Not bad. And then dunk between. And go to the other one.
I want the strawberry one.
Is that a strawberry? And taste.
Yes. Yeah, it's very good.
Yes, so that is cupping.
And that's how you decide what flavours.
And that's how you taste the flavours in it. And then I can go and say, do you know what? That one is a little bit too acidic.
And then what would you do?
And then on the roast, I would make a longer development time to take out some of that acidity, which is the point after first crack.
How do you do it all in one?
You've just got
I just tip it, that's why maybe. Let me watch.
Let me get a closer.
Go on, get close. Everyone get close. All right, I'm about to suck off a
Alex,
spoon.
you're in the spray zone.
Just breathe. But just make sure it goes
Don't
down the
breathe
right
in.
hole. Got to go faster than that.
Almost.
Almost. You're getting better.
It'll come out my nose at some point if I keep trying.
You kind of get a bit of air into it. That's what you want. You know, like when you're wine tasting, you're like, oh, circle it in the back of your mouth.
I've never actually wine tasted, so
Well, this is kind of the same thing. You're now coffee tasting.
I think I need to go on that trip to Uganda.
Hold it and breathe a little bit of air into the back of your throat when you do it. Nailed it.
There we go.
Did it?
There you go.
Did you watch it?
Oh, that's good shit.
So this is your Brazilian one. That's the one that tastes like coffee that you tried. And that one, if you look at the label, strawberries, ice cream and caramel, you nailed that one with your cupping. So your tasting notes came out really good with that one.
I like that one there.
Yeah, little Ugandan. That's what we roasted back there that was going pop, pop, pop and smelt like strawberries. And that's that one. That was your first roast.
My first roast.
Your first roast was that one.
Black Mamba.
Black Mamba from Uganda.
Thank you so much for joining me here at Snakebite Coffee. And if you'd like to check out more of Snakebite Coffee, you can find them on
www.snakebitecoffee.co, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the usual places, and on Grove Hill Road in Beverley.